evening. Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow coming to you live from the sanctuary here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California. That's in the North San Fernando Valley. We are a spiritual community who welcome all who practice their beliefs and faith and love. And so we welcome you here tonight. If it's your first time joining us online, make sure you hit that subscribe button with the notification bell, and every time we are online live, you can join us. So I'd like to invite up now our presider for this evening, the wonderful Beverly Scott, and we'll get underway here. And welcome to those of you here. So let's start by taking a deep conscious breath and releasing. Just allow ourselves to surrender to this moment, this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Now, fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. As Beverly lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. The eighth candle we light for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course, within our own hearts. And as Beverly lights a healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God.
close your eyes or just go into the small space, staring off into the distance. As we go within, recognizing that there is one great essence, perfection that is available deep within each and every one of us. I align myself with this greatness, and I feel so at peace. I just like to stay here and breathe in the energy, the power, the beauty, the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding. That knowing this great spirit is available to me, available to everyone. And I based in this knowledge. Every breath that I take is a reminder. So good. The realization that I have is one of such magnitude that I'm without words, and all I can do is just breathe and moan and just let it be. But I declare and know that infinite spirit is my life, my soul, my high tower, my fortress. And this is true for each and every one that falls under the sound of my voice. I know you've been there. Give thanks. Always stay grateful and in gratitude for the truth of our being, the love, the peace and the harmony, all comes from this great source. And it's just awaiting our awareness, us to become aware, to awake, to accept. I speak this word for health, abundance, health. Anything that is not, no longer serves us, let it go and let God. At this time, I release this word into the activity of the universal law, which only knows to say yes. Yes, my beloved child. Yes. All that we think of, desire, the ideas that come to us already manifest. Let it be. Knowing that it is completely and divinely fulfilled, I release this word. And I affirm, so be it, and so it is. Amen. When you're ready to return at your own pace and time, please do so. This evening, I want to speak with you about complaining. Complaining is the pathway to powerlessness. And as children of spirit, we are not powerless. So we should release anything that does not serve us. There is no need to complain. There is no need to complain because everything is good. Everything. Complainers are powerless. The more we complain about something, the more we will draw to us more things to complain about. The science of mind teaches us this is the law of attraction, whether we hold it consciously or subconsciously. The law of attraction guarantees that complainers will always have a lifetime supply of things to complain about. What we are supposed to do when we don't like a thing, it is to change it. And in order to change anything, we have to turn within. We have to know who we are. And we are divine. We are children of the divine. We are the light. And the light goes forth, shining brightly. If we cannot change it, change the way we think about it. Don't complain. The practice is to be mindful. That will bring clarity. And with clarity comes choice. Choice is a breath away. And we can. It is in our power to have that choice. I choose not to complain, for I am powerful, I am fearless, because I am a divine being. And so are each and every one of you in the sanctuary and online. Just go within, pause. When something sounds disagreeable with our thoughts and who we are, choose not to complain. Choose to change. The affirmation that I have for this: today, I commit to listening to my words. If I catch myself complaining about anything, I see it as a call for either action or acceptance. And I'm at peace with that decision. Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind, page 55. The time will come when we will let our conversation be in heaven and refuse to talk about, read, or think about those things that ought not be. That's very profound. The affirmation that I've given in this quote will hold us all in the light and release the powerlessness that comes from complaining. We are not complainers. We are light, and we're here to shine. Love, peace, and harmony. I leave with you knowing that this meditation will be on your heart and you will contemplate it. Thank you for your time. I do have some announcements I'd like to share. As always, if you are in need of prayer, would like a practitioner to speak with, please reach out to CSLGH.org. There's a licensed practitioner available to speak with you. We have some upcoming events on November 27th at 9 a.m. service. We'll have Reverend Jeannie Hoffman speaking about a Celtic Thanksgiving. Join us next Sunday. Join us Sunday, November 27th, for this service in person, or it will be live streamed online as well. Reverend Maureen will be speaking at the 10:30 service. I'm going to retract that because that may not be correct. That is for the 27th. Sorry. Next week, next Wednesday night is very special. It is the attitude of gratitude. Practitioner, ministers, and lay people will share what they are grateful for. It is a special, very wonderful event. It's in person, and it will be online. If you could make it out to see us, we'd love to have you. Thank you so very much for your time. And I'll turn the service over now to Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have my mic on, you guys? Yeah, I hear it there. Okay. So again, welcome. So yeah, on the 27th, I'm actually going to be speaking in Kelowna, British Columbia. I just found out. So that's where I'm going to be on Thanksgiving weekend. And so Reverend Jeannie's going to be speaking to Celtic Thanksgiving at the 9 a.m. And Dr. Maureen will be speaking on themes of gratitude. And next Wednesday night, we just get together and we share from the podium. We will be live streaming, but I encourage you to come in-house and just share whatever you're grateful for. It's always a sweet little evening. And we've been working through our Science of Mind 365. It's getting very thin. The year's almost up. And the month of November has been about gratitude. And this evening's reflection is on abundance, where Ernest Holmes quotes the Psalms when he says, Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Mike, can I ask you to bring up the light just a little bit? I'm having a little trouble here. Yeah. So I went to the DMV today. It's Mrs. Rev's birthday, so we celebrated by going to the DMV and getting our driver's licenses. And I did the vision test that they give you, and which I passed, but I told the guy, I said, yeah, this will probably be the last time I pass the vision test. So that's where that was coming from. All right, so let's see how I do here. It is written that the law of the Lord is perfect. Therefore, when we commit our ways unto the Lord, we are automatically using this perfect law, even in the most trivial things of life. To this law, there is neither great nor small. It is always responding to us by co-responding with our mental attitude toward it. Hence, watch that complaining stuff. Our mental attitudes can be consciously controlled. Therefore, we can always make conscious use of the law of good. Today, I have faith in the law of good. Today, I guard my thinking, consciously endeavoring to think affirmatively and with faith. I believe that the law of the Lord will bring every good and perfect thing to me and will bless everyone whom I hold in consciousness. Knowing that the law of good operates through my word, I speak this word with implicit confidence, with complete acceptance, and with absolute abandonment to good. Such is the power of right thinking, that it cancels and erases everything unlike itself. It answers every question, solves all problems, is a solution to every difficulty. That's from the Science of Mind textbook, page, I think 183, so you'll have to check and see if I'm telling the truth there. So this law of good. So what's Holmes talking about there? So it's the law of cause and effect, right? That not in a what goes around comes around kind of way, which is kind of the popular understanding of it, but rather in understanding that our thinking creates our reality. Well, that's no big deal, right? So psychologically, we'd know that, of course, that's true. We take it the next step by understanding that as we commune with the ineffable nature of the power and presence of that which many call God, but even greater than that three-letter word. That as we connect with this power and presence, this intelligence, this unconditional love, there's a resonance and a vibration in our life that is settling, both settling and brings a sense of harmony and serenity, but also a sense of excitement and anticipation. And so this is why we like to do things like meditation, because we can use meditation for a few things. So certainly we can commune with this higher power as we understand it to be, Christ consciousness, Buddha mind, Holy Spirit. However you access it and understand it to be, just so long as we know that it's even greater than that. And that we also learn to focus the mind so that with practice, we cultivate this sense of stillness as a matter of practice and as a matter of habit. So when we do catch ourselves complaining, right, we can say, oh, I'm going to refocus myself. But it does take practice. A lot of times we talk about how easy it is to change our thinking and change our life. This has not been my experience at the beginning. What I have found is that cultivating a spiritual practice on a daily basis and on some days through the day, doing it consistently leads me to have a life that is far more serene, that I find myself working with this law of life that to where I can actually see the abundance of opportunities for loving kindness, opportunities for to increase my good as far as my finances go, that I find abundance, that I'm able to cultivate abundance most days in many ways, including health. So that's a good thing. And so it's, so if all it takes is 15, 20 minutes of stillness a day and cultivating a sense of connection with the divine, then I'd say that's a good investment of my time. Because the ironic thing is as we make time for that, the way that we see the world changes, our perception changes. And really we do find that our good comes to us. So enough of that. Let's do some meditating. And so let's just get comfortable in our seats. Just allow yourselves to get all the wiggles and jiggles out. And we're going to bring up the Oming Bros. Let's take a deep breath together. And feel that release. And on that release, just allow the shoulders to drop. And bring our attention to the movement of the breath in the nostril. And as we bring our attention to the breath, the mind begins to still. And so we use sensation in the body to calm the mind. Our breathing is easy and natural. The tummy rises and falls. Just completely release and relax the tummy. We just scan the body from bringing our attention first to the bottom of the feet, to the top of the feet, staying with the breath, up the leg, into the sit bones, and we check our posture where our posture is erect but free of tension. So we're not rigid in any way. And if we find ourselves tight or rigid in some place, then we can just simply breathe into that place and then feel it release on the exhale. Just return back to the breath. We're going to take another deep breath here, and then on the exhale, let's feel our shoulders release. Taking a deep breath, feel the release, shoulders dropping, raising the head, chin down. So let's bring our attention to the movement of the breath on the exhale now. Taking one more deep breath and release. Focus on the exhale as we move into the silence now for about 15 minutes. Gently back into the room, staying with the breath. And imagine with me a flame, very center of your chest and your heart center. So as we know, the light, the love of the divine is everywhere present, and in a very real way, with every breath, we take in the breath of light, breath of love. So we now imagine ourselves stoking this light within our heart center, each in-breath fanning that flame and breathing easily and naturally. That flame is growing in brilliance, where it's a globe of light, a divine fire that illuminates rather than consumes. Each in-breath growing brighter, more radiant, more luminous. With each in-breath, the inhale and the exhale expanding and contracting in the way that we blow up a balloon. So our heart center now is alight with the flame of the light and love of the divine. Staying with the breath, allowing this light to extend now beyond the body, torso, side to side, front to back, top to bottom. Now sitting in this light and love of the Spirit, mixing with the light and the love within us. There's this exchange within the breath that's releasing that which no longer serves us. Discordant thoughts, hard-heartedness, we're just exhaling all that. The complaining, exhaling that. Any false belief around dis-ease, we're exhaling that and allowing the light and the love of the living Spirit to enliven that this field of light and love now extending beyond ourselves, commingling with our friends here in the sanctuary, friends online, as we remember that the Spirit is not bound by time or space, and so we are truly one in this energetic, this conscious energetic of light and love. So we feel our heart expanding now, taking it all in, releasing it all out in this field of light and love, in this field of connection with the Spirit, connection with our friends as emanations of this Spirit. And so in this consciousness of oneness with the divine, then we recognize know and claim this light and love is that we are attuning and aligning with this vibration now. That it is activated at the deepest levels of the body temple, that every atom, every molecule, every cell, every muscle, every organ, the connective tissue, every bone, that all of it is activated and vibrating with the infinite song, the divine song of life that is restoring and attuning itself to the pattern of perfection, the indwelling pattern of perfection. That there's nothing to do, simply to allow. That we feel a sense of the body temple and it is lightening up. Take a deep breath and release that, and just basking in that we know for our heart that it is open in new ways. That the calloused places of the heart are now softened. That we bring to mind anyone with whom we may be entangled in a net of misunderstanding, that we just know that this net is easily and naturally just unraveling itself. That we feel a sense of at-one-ment with all, at-one-ment with ourself. Take a deep breath, releasing that. For our mind as well, that we are open now, open and receptive to a divine download of new and creative, dynamic ideas that have within them the solution to any challenge, any sense of confusion that we may have been dealing with through this week, that we are now feeling a lifting and a sense of clarity of thought, and an openness to new ways of thinking that may make themselves known either now or later. We take a deep breath with that and release that. And now finally, for our relationships in this consciousness now that has been purified in body, in heart, in thought, that our relationships, whether at home or on the job, that they are the crooked ways are made straight, that we find ways of effective communication where we are intuitively guided into ways to seeking first to understand rather than be understood. We take a deep breath on that and release that. So knowing that there is but one power, one presence, one source, one life that has restored us this evening into a way of being in body, mind, and spirit that has been shifted and lifted into ways of living that are more harmonious, serene, joyful, even passionate in the way that we approach life. That as we make our way through the rest of this evening, that we find our way home safely and in good order, making our way to our beds. As we hit the pillow tonight, we drift off easily and effortlessly off to sleep, dreaming sweet dreams, that we awaken feeling restored, revitalized, with a sense of vim and vigor and zest and an excitement for the day to come. We just take a deep breath with that. and release. And one more final consideration of the many blessings in our life. Clean water to drink, a place to lay our head, food to eat, friends who love us and whom we love, and communities like this where we can share ideas of spirituality that raise not only ourselves but those around us, that we're just grateful for all of it. Now we just take one more breath. Just release all of it. Releasing it to that aspect of the mind, of the divine itself that knows only to say yes. It is done. So we just release it. Let it go. Know it, it's so. Together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So thank you for joining us here in the sanctuary. Those of you joining us online, thank you for your continuing support for this Wednesday night service and all the things that we do here. If this is your first time and these ideas have struck a note with you, we do meet on Sundays here in the sanctuary here in Granada Hills. You can find us on CSLGH. .org, and you'll get all the information. We meet at 9 o'clock, and at 10:30 we live stream. We do have child care available. We're working on stoking up the youth church here and be ready to get things rolling in 2023. And we will have our holiday calendar posted on there next week. So we have a lot of stuff coming up, including our wonderful Spiral of Light on December 12th, which is actually the solstice this year. I'm sorry, December 21st. I spoke it dyslexically. Anyway, on December 21st, right here, we'll have this beautiful Spiral of Light. It's a walking meditation. It's very family friendly, so bring your kids. Bring yourself, and we'll see you soon. Peace and blessings, and we'll see you next week, if not before.